Diversification sounds simple until you actually try to do it. Equity, debt, gold, each one behaves differently, and managing the right mix takes more than just good intent. In this episode of Nivesh Pe Charcha, the Diversification Playbook, we are talking about making sense of multi-asset allocation funds. With us is Mr. Manish Mahesheka, founder of Counton Ace Pvt Limited. With over a decade in the banking and financial services industry, he has helped a wide range of clients plan and structure their investments with purpose. He also works closely with corporates and institutions to deliver financial literacy sessions on topics like investment planning and asset allocation. Today, he brings his experience to this conversation, helping us understand how multi-asset funds work and why they may offer a simpler path to diversified investing for those who don't want to manage it all on their own. Let's begin. Hello and welcome to Groww AMC, and today we have with us Mr. Manish Mahesheka joining us. Manish, thank you so much आज हमारे साथ बात करने के लिए.
No, thank you, Karuna. Thanks for having me here.
Likewise, great to get you on board. So, first things first, how do you think a multi-asset allocation fund can help investors who want to spread their money across different types of investments?
See, throughout our investment journey, the most common line of phrase which we have always heard is never put all your eggs in one basket. And multi-asset allocation is a solution for, wherein the entire basket is so diversified. And as the multi-asset says that minimum 3 asset class has to be there at the part of the portfolio, and that contributes major part of the overall investments. So when you talk about the 3 asset class, I will say that like equity, debt or gold, right? So if they are the part of your asset class, then understand that your risk or the volatility in the overall portfolio comes down, and at the same time diversification also helps at times to optimize the return as well. So hence multi-asset plays a important role, and it should be a part of anyone's portfolio.
But why might somebody choose this kind of a fund instead of trying to manage the entire asset mix on their own?
Indeed, anyone can do that. But there are few challenges. Probably if you ask me, like why shouldn't anyone try to manage it their own? So I'll just highlight few of the basic challenges which everyone will face is getting the right blend, right mix. So as I told that, gold 1 year return, if you talk about it, is more than 40%. But how many people anticipated this kind of a return? If I build a portfolio of mine, I might be equity heavy or debt heavy, but may not be having that kind of an exposure if I do it on my own. Hence, but when it comes to the fund, see, there is a asset allocation, and at the same time, it is very dynamic in nature. When I say dynamic, depending upon the current market scenario, the fund manager has the expertise wherein he can actually change it. As per the law, everyone has to invest minimum 10% each into the asset class. So if a fund manager sees, like in today's scenario, if a fund manager sees that, equity is being cheaper compared to the gold or to any other asset class, so probably he will shift majority stakes into the equity. So that is where probably, people miss the bus when they try to manage their own. And one more challenging factor is your taxation. Whenever you try to rebalance your portfolio as per your wisdom, you end up paying the taxation. But here an investor has an advantage wherein he may not be paying, he will not pay the tax in any of the multi-asset fund when the fund manager is doing the rebalancing.
So each asset class, whether it's equity, debt or gold, they all play a different role. So how does a fund like this bring those together meaningfully?
See, Karunya, what happens is that, these all the asset class are distinct, but when we put together, they complement each other. When built in a portfolio, again, what happened, as I mentioned earlier also, depending upon the current market scenario, how the fund, actually a fund manager or the fund per se actually sees where the opportunity lies. So diversify it in such a way, and probably the major allocation goes into the place wherein they see the value is much cheaper. So as today the gold value might be sounding probably out of proportion on a higher side, but there are other assets which are again at a cheaper rate. So that is where probably, the fund brings all together this asset class and try to build a portfolio wherein the investor risk to reward ratio is also high considering the mix. So, these all three asset class in different circumstances are important to be a part of the portfolio.
Let's say somebody wants to now invest in a multi-asset fund. So, what should the investors look for when selecting such a fund?
See, we can't be ignorant toward the fact that, past performance is important while checking it, because it also shows that what is the kind of a role the fund manager or the management team has been playing while structuring the entire portfolio, and in the different scenario how they have performed, right? So past performance is important. Viewing the past performance is important, but it is not the only parameters. There are many filters to actually, which any individual or any investor need to apply while investing into any such funds. So you have to see whether the right asset mix is there or not, and if asset mix is there, how much flexible it is, what is the kind of a fund manager and the fund management team is. That is equally important. And taxation, of course, taxation has been touched upon. And one more most important thing, whether it is matching to your investment objectives or not. That is where the people probably fall out of place. They end up seeing which fund is giving the higher return, not exactly your investment objective. If your investment objective is met through that particular fund, then yes, you should go with.
And how important is the fund manager's experience, their approach when it comes to running a strategy like this?
See, I always believe there is no substitute to probably experience. A fund manager who has not seen several market cycles, be it equity, be it debt, or even gold or real estate, he or she may not be able to take a wise decision. Right. So fund manager's role is very important because, it is the fund manager who articulate the current scenario and foresee how the things might be shaping up in the future. At the same time, the fund management and the fund manager equally, both are responsible toward it, and how the fund will, in future, how they end up performing. So I will give a lot of weightage to the fund management and fund manager performance, because again, it is not only coming with the flexibility or probably the fund manager's experience, but it is also the in-depth research they have undergone, which is crucial. This helps only the investor to wealth to grow.
Great. On that note, Manish, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your insights with us.
Thank you.
As Manish Mahesheka explained, the strength of a multi-asset allocation fund lies in how it brings together different asset classes into a single, thoughtfully designed portfolio. For many investors, it can be a way to access structure and strategy without needing to constantly make allocation decisions themselves. The Groww Multi-Asset Allocation Fund seeks to do just that by investing across equity, debt, and commodities like gold and silver. The fund aims to offer a framework that supports long-term goals by combining asset classes that respond differently to market conditions. The NFO is open from 10th to 24th September 2025. Please consult your financial advisor before investing and read all scheme-related documents carefully. Because smart diversification isn't just about having more. It's about having a mix that works together with purpose.
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिम के अधीन है। योजना संबंधी सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें। म्यूचुअल फंड इन्वेस्टमेंट्स आर सब्जेक्ट टू मार्केट रिस्क्स. Read all scheme related documents carefully.